Welcome to Elevated, a place where the mystical meets the everyday. I am Dawn, a stay-at-home mom to a wild and spirited boy, and a guide in the realms of Reiki, Akashic Records, natural healing, and soulful living. Here, we'll talk energy, intuition, spirituality, but also the realness of motherhood, wellness, and creating balance in the chaos of it all. So grab your tea, take a deep breath, and join me as we explore healing, alignment, and the beauty of both the magical and the messy. Welcome to Elevated. Welcome back, beautiful souls. How are you today? I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. My day is going very well. I'll say the last couple of days has been a little bit more trying for sure. I think my son is starting to get sick. He has a really nasty cough. It's almost like there's phlegm in his throat or lungs even, and he can't really get it out. So I'm trying to do all the things. I think tomorrow we're going to try some mullein tea, see how that works. Today we tried doing the lemon rinds and the grapefruit rinds. So we got organic lemons and grapefruits, and I boiled those down. I might have boiled them a little too long, and it was really, really strong, but that's okay. I'll take it. It's full of vitamin C, which is supposed to be so helpful for them. I also threw in the whole lemon too, just to try and make it a little bit more flavorful for him. And I keep telling him that this happened because he on Tuesday was at play school and I didn't see what he was doing. I was talking to another mom, not fully paying attention, but kind of paying attention when I was picking him up. And he had something and he was putting it in his mouth. And I was like, oh, maybe it's like kind of like a fruit roll up or something. I don't know. I was like, it was a little bit darker. Him and his buddy went in to get their bags. And I was like, maybe they had something. I don't know. So didn't really think of it. And then he went and he did it again, and this time I saw that he bent down and picked up a chunk of ice off of the sidewalk. Well, what do you put on your sidewalks? Ice melt for starters. That's not good for anybody at all. And then secondly, that's where everyone's walking. So we have little kids with probably dirty shoes. You know, there's dogs running around there. There's just adults walking around. And so I'm trying to tell him that we do not eat snow or ice because it is not clean. I did tell him if he really wanted to eat snow, he could eat some snow when we go in the backcountry in the mountains because it's probably the cleanest snow that you're going to get if you're going to get snow anywhere. But I was like, otherwise, I'm like, especially if you guys are playing around there, if it's a more visited area, don't eat the snow. So I think I'm going to tell him that's why he got sick, even if it's not why he got sick, but it might be a good way of him not to do it again, right? You know, sometimes we may have to do those little fibs to try and help our kids out. So we'll see how he does tonight. He's got his onion in his room, and then I have a simmer pot going on in his room as well. So in there we have oranges, apples, clove, star anise, cinnamon, and some rosemary. And there's some cranberries in there because it was actually made for Christmas gifts that we didn't end up giving out. It should help him. I don't know what it's going to smell like in his room between the onion and the simmer pot. Might be a really funky smell, but I'm going with it. I'm thinking anything to help this poor little guy out would be great. It's not like he's sick, like he's not laid up or anything. No. He's got energy. But the problem is he has energy that he doesn't know what to do with. So he's more rammy with things and he's louder and he's more running and busy. He's just so out of sorts. And it's been all week that he's been out of sorts. So I'm hoping he kind of gets over this pretty quick so that I can have my semi-calmer preschooler back. Because really, let's face it, boys, and especially at preschool age, are not always calm, but he's calmer than what he would normally be when he's sick like today. So we'll see how that goes anyways. But other than that, there's really nothing new at all. For today's podcast, we're entering the realm of archangels, not as distant religious figures, but as living, intelligent energies that many people experience through intuition, healing, dreams, and inner knowing. And I thought that we would do this one because we were so busy yesterday. We ended up going grocery shopping for the day and just doing all of our running around in one day. And then my stepson and his wife came out and visited, and we were going to bed, and my son was so out of sorts as he was going to bed last night. He was just having a really hard time. I called in Archangel Michael to clear his energy and my energy. And usually, if we go to the city and we're around a whole bunch of people and we're doing a whole bunch of things like that, I find that we need to clear his energy. Usually, I'll put him in a bath that day. So we skipped the bath and I just called in Archangel Michael and cleared my son's energies. Archangels are not bound by time, space, or physical form. In spiritual and energy work traditions, they are understood as universal consciousness fields, each carrying a specific frequency. Rather than having gender in human sense, they express masculine, feminine, or a balanced energies. Qualities like action, receptivity, compassion, clarity, and transformation. Archangels often work through the chakra system, influencing emotional states, physical healing, spiritual awakening, and personal growth. People experience them differently through colors, sensations, symbols, feelings, or inner visions. Some archangels will appear towering and radiant. Others arrive quietly, almost invisible, as a shift in the heart or the mind. There is no right way to perceive an archangel, only your way. So we're going to go through, I believe, 7 archangels. We'll see. We'll see what we have time for, but we're going to go through some of the major ones. So the first one we're going to do is one that you've heard me talk about numerous times, which is Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael is often described as a protector, a warrior, and guardian of the truth. His name means one who is like God, not as an ego statement, but as a reflection of divine courage and integrity. Michael is often the first archangel people become aware of because his energy is eminent and unmistakable. When he arrives, people report feeling suddenly stronger, clearer, more grounded, as if someone just said, "I've got you." He doesn't hover, he doesn't stand. Usually when I call an Archangel Michael, I feel this very strong presence within the room, and I just know that he is there. Michael's role, not about battle in a literal sense. It's about cutting through illusion, fear, and energetic cords that no longer serve. Again, I always call upon Archangel Michael when we've been through been to the city, just so much is going on. I just feel off. My son's feeling off, something like that. I will call upon Archangel Michael to cut those cords. Or any time that I'm just feeling off. Like if I woke up and I was happy and everything was good and I was calm, and then all of a sudden I just get this flip of energy. At that point, I know I've picked up on someone's energy, and it doesn't even have to be someone in the room. It could be just somebody sending me their energy, not meaning to, but if someone's thinking of you, that's an energetic cord. If someone's talking about you, that's an energetic cord from them to you. So if something like that happens and it's affecting me, there are certain people in my life that I seem to pick up on this very frequently with. And I will go and I will be like, no, this is not happening. I'm going to cut the cord and return it to them with love. Always return back to them with love. When I'm clearing myself from the city, I don't return any of the cords back. But if I know that it's one where, again, someone's thinking of me, someone's talking about me, something like that, like it just kind of comes out of the blue and I'm at home and haven't been anywhere, then those are the ones that I'll return back to sender with love. Archangel Michael carries strong masculine energy. He has direction, protection, boundaries, strength, but his masculinity is not harsh. It is steady, it's reassuring, and it's deeply loyal. The chakras that Michael works with is the root chakra. So it's safety, it's grounding, it's survival. He also works with the solar plex chakra, which is personal power and confidence. And the odd time, he'll work with the throat chakra, which is speaking your truth. So Michael is known for protection from fear and negative energy, for clearing cords, attachments, and emotional heaviness, strength during transitions, endings, and major life changes, supporting empaths and sensitivities. Energetically, Michael feels solid, calm, anchoring, cooling, and people often perceive Michael as this tall, broad, and radiant. He's dressed in blue, silver, or gold. I would say I always see him silver. When he comes in for me, it's silver. Carrying a sword, which is symbolic of clarity, not violence. So when I call him in to do an energy clearing for myself or my son, I'm like, Archangel Michael, can you please bring your big, powerful sword? So he always has that big, powerful sword with him. He's surrounded by energetic blue light, which I do see that, like he's silver with blue light around him. Even when he's unseen, his presence feels like a shield clicking into place. You just know that he's there. Because I work with Archangel Michael a lot, let's talk about what I do for clearing. And I've discussed this quite a bit on other podcasts as well. I do believe my very first one, my introduction podcast, I went through and explained how to cut your cords. But what I will do is I will call upon Archangel Michael and I will be like, Archangel Michael, will you please come with your big, powerful sword? And will you please remove all cords and ties that are to myself, that do not belong to me, that do not serve me for my highest good end or purpose, any that are set intentionally and or unintentionally by myself or somebody else. And then I just take my hand, which is basically me visualizing his sword. And we're going from the top of my head all the way down the front of my body, back to the top of my head, all the way down the back of my body. And then I go back to the top of my head. I do around my one side. I go around my arm. I lift it up. I go underneath my arm and down my side. And then kind of underneath my foot and up my one leg and down my other leg. And then I do the same thing on the other side as that. Then I take and I grab all the cords from my stomach area. I gather those and I hold them within my left hand and I chop 3 times with my right hand. And then I do the same thing for in the back as well. I will gather all those cords and then I will chop them 3 times with my right hand. That is how I clear my energy. You can clear your energy however it feels intuitively right for you. But if you're just starting out and you're not 100% sure how to do it, you can try it that way and see if that works. So the next archangel that I want to speak on is Gabriel. And Gabriel is the messenger and communicator and midwife of new beginnings. Her name means God is my strength, and her role is deeply tied to creation, ideas, birth, expression, and truth speaking. And yes, I know we say Gabriel, but it is a feminine energy. So Gabriel's presence is gentle but persistent. Unlike Michael's firm protection, Gabriel nudges, she whispers, she encourages expression that has been held back. People often feel Gabriel when they're on the edge of something new, a truth, a creation, a birth, a change that needs to be spoken into existence. Gabriel carries predominantly feminine energy through balanced receptivity, nurturing intuition, creating flow. Gabriel's works with the throat chakra, so communication and truth, the sacral chakra, which is creativity and emotions, and sometimes the third eye, which is guidance and insight. Gabriel is known for supporting writers, speakers, artists, helping people find their voice, assisting during pregnancy or new projects, emotional clarity, and intuition. Gabrielle presents herself energetically as soft, flowing, emotionally soothing, expansive. Gabrielle is often seen as androgynous or feminine, so she could be both, either male or female, surrounded by white, pearlescent, or copper light, holding a scroll, a trumpet, a bowl of water. Her presence feels like permission to be fully yourself. I've been unknowingly working with Gabrielle. I am not one that knows the archangels very well. I won't lie about that. That is something that I am definitely needing to learn and work with. So that's why this podcast came up, because I was like, I want to know these ones. And unknowingly, I've been working with her for the last little bit just because I've been trying to get some things off the ground. It's interesting. Now I know that I'll be calling upon her every day and working with her in that regards. Usually I was like, universe, what's going on? Or universe, can you help me with this? But really I was calling upon Gabriel at that point in time. So good to know. The next archangel that we're going to talk about is Raphael. I just love saying Raphael. I'm a child of the 80s. If you're a child of the 80s, even now, maybe hard to say, but when you hear Michael and you hear Raphael, do you think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I do. I really do. Just throwing it out there. If you're like a child of the 80s, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so Raphael is healing, compassion, and wholeness. Archangel Raphael is the healer of the angelic realm. His name means God heals, and his energy is devoted to restoration of body, mind, emotion, and spirit. Raphael doesn't rush healing. He supports the natural process, the gentle recovery, the deep emotional repair. His energy feels like being cared for without being judged. We could use so much more of that in the world, hey? Raphael often arrives during times of exhaustion. When someone has been strong for too long, his presence feels like permission to rest. Many people feel Raphael as warmth in the chest, a soft green glow, a calming breath that slows the body down. Raphael carries a balanced energy, gently leaning more feminine. Compassion, presence, patience, attunement. This balance allows Raphael to work with both physical healing and emotional integration. And the chakras that Raphael works with is the heart chakra for emotional healing, grief, compassion, the solar plex, stress, anxiety, the nervous system, the third eye, which is intuitive healing and insight. Raphael is known for physical healing support, emotional trauma recovery, helping healers, nurses, therapists, animal healing, supporting journeys physical and or spiritual. And Raphael energetically is gentle, warm, reassuring, stabilizing. Raphael often is perceived as cloaked in green or emerald light, carrying a staff or caduceus, radiating calm and kindness. His presence feels like being told you don't have to heal all at once. As a healer, you can call upon Raphael to come and help you in your healing sessions. So to help your client, to help you, to gain the knowledge, to help your client through the healing. And if you're going through healing, you can call upon Raphael again so that you don't have to heal all at once, because healing isn't a one-time thing. And especially if you're doing spiritual healing, mental healing, emotional healing, even physical healing, right? Like it's not like you go get a surgery done, say for your knee, and then the next day you're up and walking better than you were before the surgery. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes work, yes, but it's not all at once. So always keep that in mind as well. The next archangel that we are going to talk about is Uriel. Uriel is the angel of wisdom, clarity, and divine logic. His name means light of God, and his role is to illuminate what has been hidden, especially in confusing or overwhelming situations. Uriel brings insight that feels practical, grounded, and immediately useful. Uriel often arrives when someone says, I don't know what to do. Oh my gosh, that's me all the time lately. I feel like I don't know what to do, whether if it's my son, whether if it's my business, whether if it's just life in general, it seems like that. His guidance doesn't overwhelm, it simplifies. People experience Uriel as sudden understanding, a calm realization, or a quiet inner voice saying, here's the next step. So Uriel is masculine, but is calm, thoughtful, stabilizing, non-dominating. This is wisdom without ego. The chakras that he works with is the solar plex for confidence and decision making, the root chakra for grounding and stability, and the third eye for insight and clarity. Uriel is known for problem solving, clarity during confusion, grounding spiritual experiences, supporting life decisions, and planning. Uriel presents himself as energetically grounded, steady, logical, reassuring. Uriel is often seen surrounded by gold, amber, or a ruby light, holding a book, a flame, or a scroll, which would make sense if you're like, I don't know what to do next, or how do I do this? Obviously, a book, a scroll, you know what I mean? A book would have all the information in it. Standing firm, almost like a guardian of wisdom, and his presence feels like clarity settling into the body. So the next archangel I actually had the pleasure of getting to work with in one of my Reiki sessions when I was the client in this Reiki session, and the practitioner called upon Archangel Metatron to actually rewrite one of my contracts that I had. It was so crazy. I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast or not. I'll have to go back and see. It might be one of my earlier podcasts, but it was basically, so in a past life somewhere, I made a deal. I get this picture of like a creepy, greasy haired, slick back, slimy salesman. And I apologize if you are in sales, but that's just kind of what I get. But what had happened was I made literally a pact about being loved. And I made a contract regarding being loved somehow. We didn't get into the whole depths of it, but now I'm like, I want to go in the Akashic records and bring this one up and see what comes up with it. But anyways, I made this deal, and it was like if you've ever watched the movie Little Mermaid, where Ariel makes the deal with Ursula that she loses her voice and then she's trying to get the prince to fall in love with her without her singing voice. And basically that's kind of what I did. I just made this deal about someone falling in love with me, but it didn't work. And then therefore I have had lifetimes of hard loving situations. So whether if that's maybe loving myself, other people loving me, that type of thing. So anyway, so we went in with the help of Archangel Metatron and we rewrote the contract. It was such a profound and amazing Reiki session. It was beautiful. It truly was. And it's definitely changed my life for sure. So let's get into who Archangel Metatron really is. He is one of the most powerful and complex archangels. He is associated with divine order, sacred geometry, and the structure of reality itself. Metatron acts as a bridge between the human and divine, helping souls integrate higher frequencies without losing grounding. Metatron often appears during spiritual acceleration when someone is awakening rapidly and needs structure, containment, and balance. His presence feels geometric, electric, and expansive, like your energy field is being gently reorganized. So again, Metatron carries a highly masculine, energetic energy. He is precision, structure, expansion, activation. This energy can feel intense, but deeply transformative. The chakras that he works with is the crown chakra, which is divine connection, the third eye, which is perception and awareness, and then all chakras simultaneously for energetic alignment. He is known for ascension and awakening, sacred geometry, so the Metatron's cube, clearing energetic overload, supporting star seeds and sensitivities and children, and the indigo and crystal energies. So I think another really good podcast that we could do as well would be star seeds, because what I know from the Akashics is that there are star seeds among us. Most of us will be a starseed simply because we are souls that originally started out on one planet and we have come to Earth to do Earth school. Now, there are some souls that strictly are Earth souls. So they started out on Earth and they're still on Earth. However, if they ever choose to leave Earth, they can go to a different planet or star and they would be a starseed in that realm. Yeah, I think we'll do a podcast on that. I was thinking about that the other day too, and I just forgot to write it down. So great that that came up. And then I think one on like the indigo children and the crystal energies of these children would be amazing. Okay. How Metatron presents himself. He is high frequency, fast moving, precise, and activating. Metatron is often perceived as pure light or geometric forms. He's surrounded by spinning shapes or grids, too luminous to fully see, and his presence feels like being plugged into higher awareness and safety. So when I worked with them, it literally was just really bright light, like you couldn't really see him. The next archangel is Asriel. Archangel Asriel is often misunderstood. Rather than being an angel of death in a frightening sense, Asriel is the angel of transitions. So holding space for souls as they move between states. So life to death, grief to healing, endings to beginnings. His role is deeply compassionate. Asriel doesn't take life. He comforts, he guides, and he soothes. Asriel often arrives quietly. People sense him as stillness, a deep calm in movements of sorrow. His presence feels like someone is sitting beside you in silence, not trying to fix anything, just in silence. Many people feel Asriel when they are ready to release something, a relationship, an identity, a phase of life. Asriel is a masculine energy, but is gentle, still, protective, non-intrusive. This is the masculine energy of presence, not force. Asriel works with the heart chakra, so for grief, loss, compassion, the crown chakra for soul awareness, and the root chakra for safety during the transition. Asriel is known for comfort during grief and loss, supporting those facing death or major endings, helping process emotional pain, healing space for transformation. Asriel presents himself as calm, grounded, quiet, protective. Asriel is often perceived as wrapped in soft, muted light, wearing a flowing robe in radiant silver, cream, or pale gold tones. His presence feels like being held without words. The next archangel is Hilaron. And Archangel Hilaron is the guardian of spiritual truth and integrity. His role is to help people align with their highest inner truth, even when that truth challenges old beliefs or comfort zones. Hilaron doesn't bring chaos, he brings correction. Hilaron often appears during spiritual confusion when someone senses something isn't aligned but can't quite name it. His energy feels like a sudden realization of inner correction. People often experience Hilaron as a quiet but firm inner knowing. Hilaron carries a masculine energy, which is expressed as honesty, discernment, precision, and ethical clarity. The chakras that Hilaron works with is the throat chakra for speaking your truth, third eye for discernment, and the solar plex for personal integrity. Hilaron is known for truth seeking, cutting through illusion, supporting ethical leadership, spiritual realignment, integrity in teaching and healing. Hilaron presents himself energetically as focused, direct, clear, and grounded. Hilaron is often perceived as surrounded by emerald or deep green light, holding a staff or flame of truth, calm, observant, and steady. His presence feels like alignment clicking into place. Archangel Shamuel is our next one. And Archangel Shamuel is the angel of love in all forms. So romantic love, self-love, compassion, and divine connection. His name means one who seeks God, reflecting his role in helping people find what they are truly searching for, especially within themselves. So if you are on a self-love journey, you'll want to be working with Shamuel. Shamuel often arrives when somebody feels lonely, disconnected, or unworthy of love. His presence is soothing, like a warm embrace. People frequently feel Shamuel during moments of vulnerability or emotional openness. Shamuel carries a strong feminine energy through balance, so nurturing, gentle, emotionally attuned, receptive. The chakras that Shamuel works with is the heart chakra, so love, forgiveness, compassion, the sacral chakra for emotional bonding, and the crown chakra for divine love. Shamuel is known for healing relationships, attracting love, self-worth and self-acceptance, conflict resolution, and emotional harmony. Shamuel presents herself energetically as soft, expansive, loving, reassuring. Shamuel is often perceived as surrounded by pink or rose light, androgynous or feminine, so it could be either male or female, but tends to show up more feminine, radiating gentleness and warmth. Her presence feels like being deeply accepted. Shamuel is an archangel that I should be working with, especially on my self-worth and self-love journey. So I'm going to be looking into her a lot more and calling upon her a lot. I did Walk on the Wild Side with Kayla from Akasha Awakened last year, and I actually got the goddess Kuan Yin, beautiful goddess deity actually. She was just so beautiful, so gentle, so kind, so caring, so loving. And I've been working with her this year quite a bit, but now I think I should be working with her and then Archangel Shamuel. Just up at one more little notch. But we are definitely getting a lot more self-love going on and a lot more self-worth going on. And it is such a great feeling. Archangel Joffiel is our next one. And Archangel Joffiel is the Archangel of beauty, enlightenment, and refined awareness. Her name means beauty of God, and her role is to help humanity see beauty beyond distortion in thought, environment, self-perception, and life itself. Joffiel works not by force, but by shifting perspective. Joffiel often arrives during periods of mental heaviness, when thoughts loop or self-criticism dominates. Her presence feels like fresh air entering the mind. People experience her as a sudden uplift in mood, a clear thought, or an impulse to create or beautify their surroundings. Joffiel carries a strong feminine energy of grace, refinement, creativity, and mental clarity. Her energy is light, uplifting, and gently transformative. Joffiel works with the following chakras, so the crown chakra for higher wisdom, the third eye for perception and awareness, and then the solar plex for self-image and confidence. Joffiel is known for clearing negativity, clearing negative thought patterns, inspiring beauty and creativity, enhancing self-worth, mental clarity and optimism, and aligning environments energetically. Joffiel presents herself energetically as light, playful, refreshing, uplifting. Joffiel is often perceived as surrounded by yellow or golden light, radiant, graceful, and luminous, carrying flowers, light, or soft symbols of creativity. Her presence feels like clarity infused with joy. Archangel Zadkiel is next, and Archangel Zadkiel is the Archangel of mercy and forgiveness. His name means righteousness of God, and his role is to assist in releasing resentment, guilt, and emotional burdens. Zadkiel works deeply with transformation, not by erasing the past, but by transmuting it. Zadkiel often appears when someone is ready to let go, not because they are forced to, but because holding on has become too heavy. His presence feels like an emotional weight is being lifted, sometimes accompanied by tears, relief, or deep sighs. Zadkiel carries a balanced energy with a masculine edge, strength through compassion, forgiveness without weakness, and emotional alchemy. The chakras that Zadkiel works with is the crown chakra for divine compassion, the heart chakra for love and acceptance, and the third eye for higher understanding. Zadkiel is known for emotional healing, releasing trauma, forgiveness of self and others, karmic clearing, and spiritual alchemy. Zadkiel presents himself energetically as gentle, expansive, transformative, compassionate. Zadkiel is often perceived as surrounded by violet or purple flame, calm and expansive, radiating peace and mercy, and his presence feels like forgiveness without pleasure. So he was our last archangel that we were talking about today. That's all that I have regarding the archangels today. It was a really quick high overview because I don't know the archangels that well. I don't typically call upon them and work with them, which is something I'm going to start incorporating and doing a lot more. So I'll need my Coles Notes version of what all they do and be like, oh, today I'm having this thought. I should be calling on so-and-so to help me out. But like I said, I work with Archangel Michael the most. He is the one where quite frequently I'm like, can we clear some energies? We got to get rid of this, whatever it is. You can clear your energy all day long if you want to. You can clear it every once in a while. If you only do it once or twice a year, that's fine. If you do it once every 2 years, that's fine as well. There's no right or wrong way to work with the archangels. I just want you to take notice right now of how your body feels, your breath, and your inner space. Each of these archangels that we explored, they're not separate from you. They're actually expressions of universal consciousness. So they're reflecting the qualities that are already present within our own energetic field. There's protection, there's expression, there's healing, there's wisdom, there's transformation, there's love, beauty, forgiveness. And you don't have to call on all of the archangels at one time. Often, the one that you're drawn to is simply mirroring what your soul is ready to integrate. Just sit with the archangels and with this podcast after and just reflect and think about the ones that maybe you need in your life, what you're going through, and maybe call upon them throughout the day if you're finding things are hard. Like if you are someone that has a lot of bad self-talk, then call upon Archangel Shamuel to help you with that so that you have more self-love for you. We have the high-level overview. We know these archangels now. There are so many archangels. If you want to know any more archangels, just reach out to me and let me know. I would love to do more research. There's just so many archangels that I kind of had to pick like the top ones that majority of healers and people would be working with. If you like this podcast, please like, subscribe, review. Please forward it on to your friends. Let them know that Elevated is here. These are the kind of topics that we talk about. We talk about motherhood and how it's going with a preschooler. We talk about holistic practices that we may be doing, natural remedies, that type of thing. We talk about the spiritual realms. We talk about healing, Reiki, Akashic records. Please like, follow, review, share with other people. Again, if you want to get a hold of me, you can email me at elevatedsoulhealing@gmail.com. You can find me on my socials. So on Facebook, it is Elevated Soul Healing. On Instagram, it's elevated_soul_healing. And just for my podcast socials, there is Elevated on Facebook, and then Instagram is elevated_pod. Again, if you just want to reach out to me, leave a comment. If you want to be on my show, you can email me at elevatedsoulhealing@gmail.com and I will get back to you. I would love to have people on as a guest, and it doesn't have to be regarding healing work or the spiritual community or something like that. It can be about motherhood. It can be about any conversation that you may want to have. I am up for that. I always say elevated conversation. I feel just by having conversations with other people, you can learn so much. I feel like every conversation is an elevated conversation because we're learning from it. So if you want to be a guest, again, email elevatedsoulhealing@gmail.com. Thank you and have a wonderful week. And we will be back next week where we're going to be talking about Imbolc. I know it sounded really funny when I said it. I did. But it is a pagan, I don't know if it's a holiday, but it starts February 1st. I don't know much about it, but it's showing up on all my socials. So I really want to do a deep dive into this. What is it? What do we need to do? I think it's like a reset period, maybe, is what I'm seeing. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.